Hey, pedal people, it's ThePedalGuy here. How you doing? Today what we're going to do is we're going to take a deeper dive into the brand new Chord Whammy effect for the HeadRush pedal board. But before we get started, please take a second and click on that subscribe button down there so you can stay up to date with all of our videos. And if you're watching this on Facebook or Instagram, be sure to like and follow us so you can stay up to date with all of our activities. Well, a couple weeks ago we did an all-encompassing video that covered everything that's included with the new firmware version 2.1 for the HeadRush pedal board and the gig board. But we glazed over the effects very quickly due to time constraints. And so I wanted to turn around and come back to the Chord Whammy in particular and take you through this effect and show you what's really cool about this and how to use it. So we're going to be concentrating on this section of the pedal board, the graphic interface, some of the controls here, and obviously the expression pedal too. So let's go ahead and zoom in and get going. Okay, here we are up close and personal. We have the rig here and the expression pedal. Now the rig is pretty straightforward and simple. We didn't want to overcomplicate this, but we're using a chord whammy into a Tron phaser, into a reverse delay, then into a PV5150 amp and cabinet on the clean channel and a shimmer effect. So let's go ahead and turn on that chord whammy, and let's also bring up the player camera there. Hi, how you doing? Okay, if I play a chord, don't hear anything yet, and that's because we haven't used that old expression pedal. So sounds like the beginning to a Looney Tunes cartoon. Anyway, we're going to dig into this and make it sound not so cartoony. To start, let's double tap on the interface. And here are the presets and the models. Now the models we don't really have to worry about in this case, but the presets, if we go here to the top, here are all of the presets that we have. Everything from a fifth down, octave down, 2 octaves down, and just a dive bomb. Now the thing about this particular whammy is that it models a whammy from the early 2000s that had the capability of really working well and tracking well with chords. And that's the same idea here with the chord whammy. So if you use the other versions of the whammy that come here included in the HeadRush, they're not going to sound nearly as good as this one does. Okay, so to start, let's work here on the, we're going to keep it at an octave for right now. But let's look here at the GUI here on the right-hand side. So the pitch updates as you use the pedal. So even if you start using the knob here, it's not going to work. You can tell because it's grayed out. Okay, the next parameter we're going to look at is the offset. Now this dictates how quickly the whammy effect will correspond to the expression pedal itself. So it's at 0 now, so if I play a chord and go up, it immediately starts as soon as I start using the pedal. But if I were to turn it to, say, 50, now I'm going to go slow on the pedal here, but watch. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Now it's going about halfway down. So this means that the offset parameter dictates when the effect will take place when you're using it with the expression pedal. Now here's one that I think is really important, which is mix. Okay, and the reason why it's important is because right now it's at 100. So that means we're hearing nothing but whammy when we have the pedal down. But if I change that to say something like 50, now I get a mixture of the whammy effect and the dry signal. And that just gives us another tonal palette to work with. Okay, and it gets even better if we go to models here and we go to, say, fifth up. We're now going to get into the delay section. Yes, there is a delay built into this effect. So you're actually getting a twofer out of it. It's really cool. We'll turn the sync on, and right now it's set to 3/16. So you have all the different note values that you've come to know and expect for the various delay settings that you can work with here. We've also got, of course, a feedback. So let's go ahead and bring that on up. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to turn this down to quarter notes, and I'll tell you why. Because as the reflections happen, the feedback is going to dictate how many times you're going to hear that repeat. And as it repeats, it goes up in pitch, or it goes down in pitch, depending on which preset and which model you're working with here. So if I go back to, say, an octave, let's keep it there. Now the delay feedback only goes up to a maximum of 65, which is more than ample. So I'm going to keep it at 20, and you'll hear why in just a second here. So let me just play a single note. All right, hear that? Let's turn it up a little bit more. Let's go to 40. And then you've got a low pass filter for the feedback specifically. So right now it was set to the maximum of 6, but I'm going to take it all the way down to the bottom here to 1, and I'm going to play a single note. Let me also do this. I'm going to turn the mix all the way up so you just hear just the effect. Okay, so let's hear what that sounds like. And then, of course, down here at the bottom, you've got the tails on and tails off. So, which simply means that if let's take the feedback up to, say, 50 and hit a note or hit a chord. If I turn off the effect, the tail is still going on. Okay, so as you can hear, this is just one of those really cool effects that you just have to play with it to get used to it a little bit. And what we'll probably do in subsequent videos to follow is we'll dig into a couple of the other new effects that were introduced with this version of the firmware. So if you'd like to see that, be sure to let us know in the comments below. And as always, for more information on this pedal and the other pedals that we carry, please visit us at ThePedalGuy.com. Also be sure to follow us on Facebook or Instagram, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks and have a great day.